boot camping right now with the rest of his team right now, though. Still, smoke on smoke action, Mike, and both sides are collapsing into the same area here.
Are we getting a level 1 team fight to break out? Both teams about to meet in the river. Smoke's broken. Sacred will be spotted. Chu not going for a Fisher quite yet. Sacred very, very excited going to this game 3, clearly. It's Master Tier Mars coming out from Sacred. Looking forward to something beautiful from him. Dark Mago, who'll have a look around through the mid lane. BZM, he'll place the ward down right in front of him.
30 seconds to battle.
Dark Mago. See what he does do about it. For now, he'll just stand on his own side of the river.
Yeah, just kind of getting a feel for each other here. Still standing by the ramps, so might be able to run down. A little bit more forward vision out for OG at the very least, a defensive ward on the ramp side. So they'll see Matthew kind of sneaking around here.
They are going to move their way in. Amar, he'll show up as well. Tiger, very threatening at that level 1 mark with the Undying. Just that decay doing so much. ATF still moving, though Sacred wants to try and steal. Does manage to take the banner in away, but now he's in danger. The chase is on, the slows are there, but Sacred is just fine. Looks like a 3-for-1 trade on the... Oh, it's a 4-for-0 trade on bounties. Thunder Awaken getting a fantastic start, and Pandamu, he's just not done. So much damage being dealt the way of Tiger. He might just have to walk all the way back to the fountain at this rate.
Yeah, still being encountered by Pandamu here, though. Poison Touch can be off cooldown a bit. The decay is painful.
It certainly is. Tiger going to try and fight back now. Pandamu does have the Poison Touch available. The supports are still going at it. Tiger, he'll cop another. Pandamu not going to leave him alone, forcing the TP back towards the lane. So Tiger, he does at least have a salve available, so can go for a reset, and will do so. Still this top lane, Uragi going to be on that POS 1 Ember along with Tiger against Sacred Smarts, and of course you've got Matthew on the Rubik. John, how does this top lane go here for either side?
I'd say it feels a little bit better for Thunder Awaken. You've got this combination of the lift back into the spear. You can kind of slow down the CS of this Ember with a Fade Bolt once it's up. You can be really aggressive here on OG. A couple of the K stacks up. Maybe you can run them down with a Flame Guard, and that is one way to kind of melt through the Mars. Being a strength hero, he's not going to enjoy the matchup up against the Undying.
Bot lane, there's a bit of damage coming out here. Pandamu is going to drop. ATF able to secure the first kill of the game. It will be split between the two. The Dazzle already dropping. Pikazi had popped that meta, but only interested in farming for now.
Yeah, and this is going to be an issue for Thunder down bot. Every single time Metamorphosis is down, Amar should be able to get some good damage off and get some good zoning.
One more hit will do it. Fisher is there, however, he'll try to fight back, but it's not going to be enough. The disarm was not there in time. ATF, he'll get the tip from Pakaz.
Oh, that's just unfortunate. The Metamorphosis just fades after the kill. So that would have been his moment for Amar to kind of get the harassment off. It's going to be a long time until Pakaz can do that again. And this is where the Husker can shine in matchup. While Metamorphosis is down, Pakaz is a sitting duck if he's not careful.
Certainly is. Of course, mid lane, BZM and Dark Mago going at it. Dark Mago doing a hell of a lot of damage against the Quap. It's one of those things, right? Like Queen of Pain, usually very lane dominant, but against a hero like Kunkka with Tidebringer, not really so much.
Yeah, you can play around with a Stifling Dagger. BZM does go for it at level 2 now at 3. So does have a lot of trade potential with a Kunkka, but the Kunkka is just so much more durable. He doesn't care too much about that DOT running on him.
Matthew dropping rather low himself. Tiger a bit low on mana, but does have some mangoes available. Does pop them immediately. Matthew maybe getting baited to come back. Tiger, he'll go for a chase, but won't be able to keep up. 12 strength being stolen here from the Rubik, but he'll be just fine to survive for now. To the farming game for both these sides. Of course, 1-to-1 so far. Very slight net worth lead the way of Thunder Awaken. Dark Mago still having such a great time, but BZM keeping up quite close in terms of CS. In fact, it's a very even affair between these two. Of course, as the levels do go up again, it does become much harder for BZM. Again, the Tidebringer, just so much damage over time. For now, though, happy days for OG, happy days for Thunder Awaken.
Yeah, once you've got the value point in the X here for Dark Mago, you can start to look for some plays. You can just maybe call Matthew to head down mid, get some chain control off, and start to force a little bit of aggression from mid. We see Thunder Awaken always do this. They love to play around Dark Mago. Even if his lane goes kind of awkward, they still try to clump up mid and give him a bit of a recovery.
That certainly is. Of course, bottom lane, ATF. Do you expect ATF to just outright win this lane against Pakaz in the TB? Like, considering you are playing Husker, is it expected the Husker wins out this laning stage, or does it go the other way?
No, the Husker definitely wins out. Every time Metamorphosis is down, you don't really have much play here for Pakaz. So he's just going to have to farm a little bit safer, a little bit further away from the creep wave. And it's going to be down to Pandamu to kind of try and at least zone out Chu, prevent any sort of setup for the Husker to play off the back of.
Yeah. Stacks being made in that raiding triangle already. Matthew even denying off the water rune, not wanting to allow OG to pick that one up. Dark Mago, he does pick up his own water rune though, so only BZM, only man that doesn't get one here. Sacred, chased down by the neutrals as ATF now. Pandamu very far forward, but Chu won't bother trying for the Fisher. OG, topside as well. The Tiger trying to force them away from Uragi, give him as free of a lane as possible on that Ember. For now, a very good start for Uragi as well. Currently 20 CS, 5 denies. Sacred just behind him in 17 and 4. They do move in. Tombstone is dropped. They've got the chains out. Sacred dropping a little bit low, trying to go after the Tombstone, but Tiger, he'll move in. Tombstone is going to be fed back the way of the Mars, but they do secure the kill. Uragi able to get the damage off. Meanwhile, bottom lane, ATF dropping extremely low, but not quite low enough to take down. Pakazi had popped the meta for that, but will be forced to go back towards the creep wave.
And again, that's where the Undying shines in that top lane for OG. Just soften up the Mars. You've got good damage on hand from Uragi. Going for a 2-2 build on the Ember. So when you do get rooted up, you burn for a pretty decent amount of damage. And that free farm for Uragi is going to be of concern, because your lockdown here from Thunder Awaken isn't the best. You've got X, you've got Arena and Spear back, and maybe you left. But if you react fast enough, Uragi's going to have a lot of ways of dancing around. On top of that, you're also worrying about BZM on a Quap. Now, his lane's still a little bit slower, but he's still slippery.
Oh, nice fish up, Pandamu getting locked down. ATF, though, in trouble. Is going to drop to Pakaz. Not a great trade at all. Another tip out to ATF. Certainly not the kind of trade you're looking for here. Off lane for a support.
No, and you're building up on Pakaz. Again, this should have been a bit of a harder lane for him, but he's still managing to keep up relative to, say, Uragi here in farm.
Matthew, Haste Rune is up on Tiger. He might just go all the way for this chase, and Matthew realizing this has to go into the Roshan pit. Lift is there, back outside the Roshan, but BZM is going to join in, and Matthew surely has no way out and will not. Still Dark Mago now, rotating over as well, but what can he actually get done? Tiger drops a Tombstone, forcing the TP back out from Dark Mago. And this is something you pointed out during the drafting stage, John, but there's not many stuns available on the side of OG.
Yeah, they've only really got the Shaker that can help pin people down. You've got the Searing Chains from Uragi, but it takes a while for him to come back in. Smoke out from Thunder Awaken from that TP home could be a big opportunity. We talked about this. Thunder Awaken love to play around Dark Mago, and they're going to look for that opportunity soon.
BZM not going to run up that high ground. They do have the vision of Pandamu. Instead, Chu will rotate around onto the Dazzle. Won't try to make the attempt, however. G still sticking around with these supports. Thunder Awaken slowly moving their way in, along with Pandamu and Pakaz. You do have ATF around as well on the Husker, but he's only interested in farm right now. ATF going to be just fine. OG. Just around that time, you just kind of sit back and relax for a bit, especially with this Husker. He just hasn't had a great start. You want to give him a bit of comeback potential after this laning stage, and ATF will certainly take his time. You look back at Dark Mago, second in net worth right now on that Kunkka, is still ahead of BZM on that mid-quap. More rotations coming down towards the bottom side. They are looking at Pandamu as we speak. Pakaz also in vision. Instead, though, they'll go after the Dazzle. You've got to get rid of that support first. So Pandamu, he will tank the gank for his team. Pakaz, he'll be happy to walk out, but OG, they'll take what they can get for now.
Yeah, they're not pressuring Pakaz per se. He is out of the lane, but he's still got pretty good coverage in jungle. There is forward vision here from OG to try and punish down the line, but they opt not to at the moment. Maybe looking for a little bit more down mid. As you mentioned, still clumping around with Chu. That is their main control, but it's so much more space for Thunder Awaken to play elsewhere as well. They've got a free lane down bot for Pandamu to just kind of soak EXP. You're still getting that build-up you want to see on Sacred, although Uragi is finding a little bit more in that lane. But it does feel like as this game starts to approach, say, the 15-minute mark here, Mike, OG is the one that should be taking initiative. So this kind of start, not the worst thing in the world. Still fairly even of a game, less than 1k lead. And once they've got those level spikes up, that's when things should get heated here.
Panda may get caught out, trying to go for a bit of a D ward. Tiger will spot him, but Matthew is going to be there to back him up, and Chu again won't bother with the Fisher for now. Just don't have the backup of the Husker at the moment, so no point really even bother throwing it out. Mago, of course, taking his own time in that mid lane, farming up on that Kunkka. So he will head down towards the bottom side. Regroup with his team in that Radiant jungle, but just wants the stacks to be taken, so he's just focusing on stacking up the jungle and giving as much net worth back the way of Thunder Awaken as possible. Farm up those tier 1 items. Meanwhile, top lane, Sacred, not going to land the spear onto Uragi. In fact, Uragi now going to try and turn with the chains down. BZM will rotate. Sacred has no way of escaping, should just drop and does. Uragi, great kill for him. Tiger mid lane, X-Boat is going to be there. He did drop the tombstone, but that's probably going to be a bit more gold to go back the way of Thunder Awaken. One of the weaknesses about Undying, John, you've got to be very cautious about where you drop that tombstone.
Yeah, it's a fairly long cooldown for a laning spell, and it does bleed out quite a fair bit of gold.
Dark Mago though, nice fish shot you. Gonna block him in, make him walk the long way around. Dark Mago surely just drops and does. BZM, no hesitation, will drop the Sonic Wave for this great kill. Still Thunder Awaken, they do group up mid lane, but without their Kunkka, they won't want to fight. Just have to retreat for now and kind of lick their wounds. Even Uragi showing up from the top side. But we'll go back towards the top lane and keep farming up that Maelstrom.
Yeah, you're buying a lot of space here from Thunder Awaken. Like, all this happening down mid is freeing up space for Pakaz. Dark Mago just maybe overstaying his welcome there. Does get just bursted down from that. Didn't have the boat to help sustain. And Pandamu not quite there for the shallow grave as well.
Here you go again, OG. Heading down towards bottom side. Not going to see Pandamu yet. BZM is around, so the kill won't be too hard to try and get. If you do find the Dazzle, for now they'll leave him be, but there is a big group up here from OG on the bottom side. He's just trying to focus down that tier 1 tower with that 10-minute siege creep. ATF doing a very good job of just catching up throughout this bot lane as well. More than ready to fight at this point with the armlet up. They will start the pressure onto that bottom tier 1 tower. Tombstone drop, they know Pandamu's somewhere in there. Completely trapped up, so ATF moves right in. Pandamu, he'll try for a TP, but it's not going to work out. ATF able to secure another. And that bottom tier 1 tower certainly going to drop the way of OG.
Yep, nice little tower take for them for free. TA, Thunder Awaken not quite in the position to defend. They'd rather farm. They're getting the build up for Pakaz. The triangle's been cleared out. He's getting all the stacks his way. Already has the Yasha up along with the power treads. So he's starting to really build up. Into the Manta style next, more than likely, maybe the Dragonlance if he feels like he needs the stats. We're also seeing Sacred slowly work his way up to that Blink. And once you do have that Blink up on the Morris, Thunder should be able to force more fights out. Again, it's been a bit of a passive start. OG are the one taking the initiative here, but that is to be expected with this lineup. You've got the armlet up on Amar, just working onto that Heaven's Halberd. This is the time you want to play around that Husker.
Yeah, absolutely. Mid-river, Chu. He's spotted, Matthew, he'll go for the lift up. Into Sacred, the arena will be dropped. No hesitation, they want that shake gun, they'll find him. Chu, no way to survive through that. So Thunder, nice little pick up for themselves. OG realizing there's just no way to fight this one out, does back their way up, but now maybe once the shake is up, you group up knowing the arena is down. In fact, they group up before that. Tombstone drop, they're going to find the Dazzle. Pandamu, he'll go for the shallow grave and try to at least delay this, go after the Tombstone, but it is going to drop. OG able to find themselves a support trade. Can they get some pressure onto this mid-tier 1 tower with this double damage on Uragi? It looks like they're going to try while the Tombstone's still around. Just a bit of chip damage to come. Thunder Awaken, they are hanging around. Meanwhile, top side, Sacred, he's going to be caught out. Sonic Wave, they're pushing him away, and now the TP, Sacred! Oh, he's going to make it!
Just on edge with all of these plays. They were trying to shove in mid in that downtime. They do manage to hold it off. Dark Mago also just poking and prodding, kind of wasting the double damage rune out from Uragi. So they don't find a kill, they don't find a tower, and this is stall time for Thunder Awaken to just keep building up on their win conditions. Pakaz is still farming. They have not been hunting down the Terrorblade, and even though you are getting this build up on Amar, he is working on his BKB instead of the Halberd. You will want to really stop Pakaz soon. Because again, we've seen this guy just left alone to farm for 10 to 15 minutes. He does deliver every single time.
Absolutely. The BKB is certainly going to be a very strong timing here for ATF though, and it just seems like he wants that magic immunity so he can just go ham in the middle of a team fight. Because like you mentioned though, allowing Pakaz this time is going to be a little bit problematic. As ATF getting closer and closer to that BKB timing. That'll be the timing OG want to try and play around. Yuragi, of course, already has the Maelstrom up, so you've got quite a bit of damage here from the Ember as well. Going into the boots of travel, so just making sure he's able to be very mobile across the map. And again, once you do have the BKB on the Husker, it just feels like you could just start running at Thunder Awaken. There may not be much they can really do about it.
Yeah, they're going to lack a lot of control, lack a lot of ways of trying to kite Amar down. And that's going to give him prime opportunities to maybe take care of Pakaz for the team if they can get that chain control off. They're also starting to slowly work their way up to the blink timing here of Chu. The Shaker will be able to kind of engage for your team as well, follow up on the jumps in from Yuragi, or start things off for Yuragi to kind of clean up from.
Yuragi, lifted up, Matthew will cop the chains. Meanwhile, mid lane, Sacred gonna find Tiger. In fact, they found a second. BZM does have the Yules, is gonna be alright for now. We'll blink out, but the X is there. Drag him back. BZM somehow still alive. The poison touch. It's not gonna be enough with the Tidebringer. Just within range. Dark Mago able to find it. In fact, they found another. Yuragi, he's not making it either. Thunder Awaken punishing OG. Into the mid-tier 1 tower they go. Terrible news for the OG fans here, John.
Yeah, they tried to save by using the Fortify. It didn't block the damage. Like, Dark Mago just got the angle with the Tidebringer. The Yules looked good. The X was held onto, and it just fell apart slowly but surely there. They fortify. It's just not enough.
Here we go, Dark Mago. Looking for it, waiting for that creep wave, and he knows he's got it. See you later, BZM. They tried to glyph as well. Nice attempt.
I mean, with that mid-tier 1 down, the jungle up top just opens up massively for the side of Thunder Awaken. They still haven't brought Pakaz out at all.
Oh, BZM, no. He gets speared up. Pandamu setting up the perfect bait, and they go in for more now. They'll find Tiger on the Undying. John, OG, they're the ones that are meant to have the momentum this game 3.
That's what's supposed to happen with this lineup. They're supposed to play quick and fast, and now the Roshan's being taken by the side of Thunder Awaken with the Metamorphosis pop from Pakaz, with the stats he has on hand. It's not the fastest process, to be fair, but it still does go quick. And OG, they don't have vision around the Rosh. They have vision on the jungle, but not into the pit. They get a scan, and they could try to do something.
Thunder Awaken. Roshan freely going to go their way. There is a scan out from OG to get the information, but they can't really force a fight. They're just not in position, slowly making their way over, but they may get caught with their pants down. Yuragi gets chained up. Perfect setup from Matthew, but a great Fisher. Chu, he'll put it into it. ATF makes the jump in. He'll man up at the BKB. It will wear off. He does get rather low and back himself up for a bit of a reset. Meanwhile, Yuragi dancing around this team fight as Dark Mago dropping low. BZM back in. That'll be the Conquer gone. Aegis down, and now the Fisher. It'll cancel the TP off. The cars, nowhere to go. Sunder there. He does find BZM, but it won't matter. The Sonic Wave takes him down. It's Dark Mago. He'll find a way out, but they'll get Pandamu in the mid lane. That's 4 down. OG. That's that OG magic we talk about, John. Finding a way back into this game.
Oh, they get the perfect timing to break that fight up. It took a little bit longer for Dark Mago to walk up there, and Pakaz was focusing the Tombstone. He was just trying to hit high ground, missed a couple of times in Tombstone. He was just focused on that one piece of the team fight, and when everyone else turned on to him, he just had nothing.
That was a dieback as well on the Dazzle, by the way. John Pandamu, he bought back for that team fight, immediately dying back. That's just so detrimental. And suddenly the net worth lead less than 1k the way of Thunder Awaken. So all that lead they had, the Roshan, everything just being thrown back the way of OG off the back of ATF. The BKB pays off dividends.
Yeah, he just stands his ground. There's just no way of controlling there. They get a good start. They get a good spear, broken up by True, and Amar just comes in and rips them to shreds. Pakaz tries to hit, but he focuses on this Tombstone towards the end here.
Someone's got to do it. So many uphill misses happening here for poor old Pakaz, and well, like you mentioned, I mean, ATF just jumping in. Obviously a fantastic Fisher to set up, and eventually they'll just get right through. This arena, rather electric as well. You saw Pakaz going for the Thunder, or rather Sunder on PCM. Not able to find it though, or rather, still goes down anyway. Still, back into it we go. What do you need to do now? Thunder Awaken, slow this game down a little bit, keep the fight going. Never mind, OG, they're the ones to move in. Onto Dark Mago they go. BKB already forced out ATF. He doesn't really care though. He'll just keep moving in with the life break. Arena down. Matthew, he's the one in danger. They might just find themselves a support Rubik for now, but OG, they just want to keep going. They'll find another. That'll be Pandamu gone. A 2-for-1 special. OG not looking to slow down anytime soon.
No, they've just got to keep running. This is where their lineup shines, and where Thunder Awaken has to take their time in building up. Because, you know, he feels strong enough to take the Roshan, but he's not tanky enough to eat through all the damage coming out from OG. So they need to keep this stall game up, get that Scotty up on Pakaz, get more, maybe even lifesteal onto him just to stay alive in the middle of these fights, and try to work on that BKB for Sacred as well. It's easier said than done, as it just feels like it's at this point in the game where the Huskar just doesn't feel like you can handle it. Like, they don't really have the smoothest way of just bursting through a Mar here.
Just noticed as well, Chu getting nice and lucky here, finding a Philosopher's Stone for himself. Obviously, still very far away from picking up that Blink Dagger he really wants on that Shaker, but now with the Philly Stone up, a little bit faster for his sake on the Shaker as they do smoke up once again. Into the Radiant Triangle they want to go. Both supports, they'll frontline for the team. ATF right behind them to back them up. Pakaz Fisher is going to land. That's one set up. Chu is there with the shots. Pakaz, he'll turn around now with the Metamorphosis back in onto the Shaker. It's a lot of damage. Soul Rip will be there, but won't be enough. Chu is going to drop.
Yeah, nice little patience play from Pakaz, sensing something wrong. Breaks the smoke, cancels the gank from the side of OG, and just gets himself a little bit more to build up on. Again, this Terrorblade gonna need a lot more farm, at least the Scotty up, but definitely much more durability needed to kind of hold his ground here.
You see the boys from Master there on the camera as well, John, having a peek who their next opponents are going to be. Just watching very closely.
Yeah, scouting out, getting some info, of course. Wanting to be prepared for their next match. Thunder Awaken, and they're also working into this AC timing coming up from Dark Mago, so physical durability can be nice to have as well. Only lacking the plate mail with a recipe probably flying out now.
Matthew.
Oh, no.
Oh, surely caught out. Nice lift away onto ATF. Will try to run. Shallow Grave immediately up by Pandamu. Tiger still chasing. Tombstone will even be dropped as well. Trying for the slow. Matthew still running. They will not land the Sleight of Fist either. OG not really losing too much though. Just a Tombstone being committed. Not too big of a deal.
Some space for top though, shoving in from the side of Thunder. Dark Mago getting that done by himself, and they're not quite the fastest push lineup from OG. So even with all that space down bot, they can't really gun for the objective. And Thunder are starting to do a lot of work with the map space they have. They've got Pakaz protected up. They're finding room for Sacred and for Dark Mago to get build up as well.
Dark Mago could be in danger now. Yuragi, Chains will land. BCM is there to back him up, but the BKB is popped. TP out. No way to cancel, but it won't matter. Just kill him.
Yeah.
Who needs stuns?
No. And see that. That's why no one in C buys BKBs in your pubs. You just die. It doesn't do much for you. Took a little bit of time for him to commit to that TP home. If he maybe TP'd a little bit earlier, the instant he knew he was in trouble, he might have been able to bail out. But a nice kill for OG to find.
Nice blink away from Sacred. We'll be able to escape the grasp of Tiger and BZM. We'll control the area around the Roshan pit now, OG. Mind you, there is still plenty of time for that Roshan to respawn, but they'll hold on to that Radiant Triangle and just deny that farm away from Pakaz. Keep in mind as well, Matthew has stolen Fisher on the Rubik, so probably the best spell he could steal this game, just so impactful. See what Matthew can get done with that. They are just retaking their triangle for now. OG already cleaning it up though. So the objective will be the top tier 1 tower for OG. Thunder Awaken, they do group up, not willing to let this one go down for free. Matthew will just abuse the Fade Bolt onto the creep waves to get rid of it. Server wards are down, so they have the information on OG's position and the smoke. Oh, I think that might have been spotted. Thunder Awaken, they should know this is happening. In we go. OG still going to make their way in. Yuragi has spotted out Matthew. The Rubik will get caught out with the chains, but there's a Fisher. BZM cleaning him up, however. That'll be one down. OG not going to find anything else, but they do have a T1 top tower to go after, and that's what they'll take.
Yeah, no contest coming out from Thunder. They did have to pop Tombstone once more just for a support kill, but you don't really care too much about that cooldown at this point in the game. You are happy enough on Thunder to just, again, keep this farm game up. It's on them now to play that slower game. It's on OG to run as fast as they can before any additional early BKBs come up and just, shut the map down. Good start already. Still a very even game, 10-18. 2K lead for OG, not the biggest. Because it's still number 1.
Cops a stun. Chu sitting up again. Chains will be there. The slow from the Shadow Strike as well. Dark Mago forced to pop the boat. BKB does pick up the double damage and immediately just TPs out. Meanwhile, Radiant Triangle, in they jump. Matthew with the life break. It doesn't quite work that way, but ATF goes too far, gets taken out. Meanwhile, on the other side, Pandamu should be sacrificed and will be to Yuragi. Not a bad trade overall for either side, but ATF ends up going down for the sake of 2 supports. Pretty even if you ask me.
Yeah, I'd say you're much happier in Thunder as well, though.
Sacred getting jumped on. BZM wanting to keep forcing the fight. There's your fish around. Tiger, he'll get the tombstone down. Sacred surely drops. Eventually will to BZM in the backside. Dark Mago!
Oh.
Well, he'll have plenty of time to think about this one, John.
Yeah, that's quite the pause.
Yeah.
As tends to happen in Southeast Asia, Mike. And sometimes it just happens. Mid-game, you're in the middle of a fight, you're having a good time.
This is where you scream at your supports.
Yeah.
You start screaming at the supports. Where the hell are my supports? Where's my wards? What are they doing? Never the core's fault.
Never is.
Pandamu will reconnect. OG. We see the easiest kill of their lives here in the mid. They'll take it. Dark Mago to drop.
They feel a lot better now in OG. They find more kills off the back of the sacrifice that ATF makes. They've got a decent 3K lead, building up a little bit more. They would love to take care of Pakaz, but Pakaz is not willing to show. Metamorphosis is down, Sunder is down. Still working towards that BKB on the Terrorblade. And until that point, you're really not going to see too much from Pakaz unless someone misplays.
The scary part is when he does have that BKB, John, it kind of turns into almost the same story as game 2, right? Like Pakaz, he just puts the whole team on his back and just carries the game for them. You kind of wonder how worried OG are about this TB. They just haven't really dealt with him too much yet. Very, very scary times here. Scaling-wise as well, like you've got Ember Husker into a TB late game, it doesn't sound too good.
There is some scaling on hand. It's definitely not as straightforward as just the sheer damage and durability a Terrorblade can have with itemization. But you have a lot that you can play with. A Quap, when it hits certain talent spikes, gets, say, the build up for Ags could be an interesting way to go. It is pretty big. It's a lot of damage that can bounce around. I'm not sure if the Ags Shadow Strike actually affects, say, illusions. If it does, those mini screams of pain on illusion spam from the TB does rack up while BKBs are down.
OG still hanging around that Roshan pit. It is up in 50 seconds. Such a big objective for both sides. OG, they want first dibs on it. Obviously missing out the last time around. ATF. Just hanging around that Radiant Triangle. OG will back him up. No fear in the world here for this dire side so far. Thunder Awaken slowly making their way back into that Radiant Triangle, however. They've got the vision. Tiger does get caught out with the spear. Sacred, he's got the BKB off in time, but there's no follow-up to the spear. They give up the triangle once again. In fact, Yuragi looking to see if he can force a fight here, but the BKB was not off yet. So Sacred going to be fine. But Roshan, it's up in 10. OG, they're still checking.
Yeah, and they've got a good chance of just clearing out this Roche. No forward vision out from Thunder to kind of keep eye of the Roche pit. They still have that ramp ward from earlier on, though. So they might be able to get a sense that people are roaming around the area. You can see Pakaz, again, just sticking to the opposite side of the map. They know where OG is playing around, so they just send their Terrorblade away. BKB only about 500 gold away, less than 500. And again, as you mentioned, Mike, that could be the scary moment for OG as well, as Pakaz is probably going to be willing to fight. Still, Roche does begin here for the side of OG, and without, well, they've got the vision. They see Chu hanging around behind Roche, but probably not too keen on trying to force this.
Yeah, I mean, you're so close to the BKB timing of the TB. It's kind of unfortunate right now for Thunder Awaken. Just perfect timing for OG to get this done. So Roshan will go their way freely. Happy days, the arena does light up. Beautiful lighting here. The Arena of Stars is OG. Grouping up once again, but there's a five-man smoke from Thunder Awaken. They want to go for a team fight into the Aegis. They're going to find ATF on the Husker. Spear is there. Immediate jump in ATF. He'll get hexed up as well. They can't take him down though. He's still alive. Torrent as well. ATF, he's just tanking everything. Eventually though does drop the Aegis. That'll be the first life. Matthew and Pandamu going down to the Sonic Wave. Is there by BZM. Picard's still fighting. Gets the Sunder off. Gets the reset. Back onto Yuragi. They've got the Ember. Not too bad of a team fight with the buybacks of the Yuragi. Wants to keep the fight going. They'll find the Kunkka. They'll find the TB. Dark Mago, he'll be targeted. Pandamu healing him up. Shallow Grave out as well. Nobody dying from Thunder. They just want to back off and waste the buyback of Yuragi. But Sacred does get caught and does eventually get taken out. Meanwhile, ATF, however, dropping low, does get X'd up. Back into the torrent. Lock him down. But the TB is not committing. Instead onto Jim at the Echo Slam. Is there Chu setting up a great team fight. Now Bakaz, he's out of mana. ATF, he wants to dive but won't go for it. Not risking it for now. Matthew, he'll keep fighting. Slider fist on his end, but no damage. Great team fight on both sides. Who does that actually favor though, John? It's so even.
It's really even. Even the net port trade isn't that significant for either side when you account for anyone getting a little bit more there. It looked really good for OG. I mean, they got the objectives earlier. That slam from Chu in the backline does even it out way more. And Thunder have to respect that. Like, the blink timing coming out from Chu is massive. And we talked about OG's issue being just having only the Shaker for stuns, but if you can make it work, if you can manage to make them a bit too confident in themselves on Thunder Awakening's side, you can just force them to clump and get some good damage off in some of these tight spots. OG now with a 6k, 7k lead, starting to feel really good. They did manage to get decent use out of the Aegis. It's not the cleanest set of fights, but it works out.
Damage, Yuragi looking to move in, does force the BKB out from Sacred. Yuragi has his team behind him, wants to keep going with this double damage rune. Happy to play very riskily here. Stark Mago there to back him up. X is out, they've got the Ember. Lift will be there, trying to ensure the turret, but they mistime it. Whoops. Chu, nice fish shot, just trying to snipe the Rubik, but not quite. Yuragi, he did not have the slider fist up to try. Another X out onto the Ember, but this time he'll just remnant away. OG sticking around, wanting that mid-tier 2 tower. That's a great chains out into a Fisher. Do they have the follow-up? Not quite. And we have another pause to come out. Dots are there. Yuragi is not happy. Thunder Awakening, they claim it's a crash. Couple crashes, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it happens. You know, sometimes your PC just doesn't want to play nice.
Nah.
So, you know, it's Southeast Asia. Send help. Fix it up.
What do you do? These things happen. It'll get sorted ASAP. There's a reconnect from Pandamu. They keep the fight going here, OG. I mean, it's a great setup, but you might have lost the momentum with that pause.
You still have a lot to play with. Amar is fairly far away from this fight, though, cut off by the fissure, so the angle for Husker is just maybe a little bit harder to pull off there. Very
Look at that crowd. Very excited people.
Beautiful crowd.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Look at him.
Come on,
Beautiful
guys. Game
crowd.
3. Let's get it going. There we go.
Full house here today for OG against Thunder Awaken. What a hype series it has been so far. Everyone very, very excited indeed. So we are going to try and sort this out during the pause, Jonathan. Obviously, you haven't had breakfast today, so I can't ask you if you had merienda. You're a very sad boy.
It is what it is. You know, you got to wake up, instantly go to the arena, have some great Dota on hand. That's your breakfast. That's your lunch. And that's your dinner as well. That's all you need.
Waves out from the crowd. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. Hello, Mum.
Is she actually watching?
No.
Is the wife watching?
She doesn't care.
Surely the missus does.
No. She doesn't care. Don't get married, John. Just don't get married. Goodness me. Looks like we'll have the pause, the game underway very, very soon. Nice thoughts, nice signs coming out. Of course, people ask when Gorg's coming back to OG. John, when's Gorg coming back?
I wouldn't know. How would I know? I don't know anything like. I barely know enough to cast, all right? Don't strain my brain too much.
How's the state of this game, John? Like, do you think OG's got a massive enough lead to make this victory happen in Game 3?
7k is a good start. You hit your key item timings, the Blinking the Shaker, BKB, and Desolator up on Yuragi. you're feeling pretty damn good here. The issue that you still have to face is whether or not Pakaz can get his positioning right. You know, if Pakaz gets a good use of his BKB in the middle of these fights, that's where things can get really scary.
There's always going to be one of these
Classic.
guys. Always one.
We can't say it.
How many tanks can we fit in a mall, John?
A lot of tanks.
A lot of tanks?
A lot of tanks in those malls.
We love tanks.
Absolutely. Gotta see them.
Absolutely. OG fans all across the board. Where's the Thunder Awaken fans? Can we get a shot of those guys? Where are they?
Any TA fans?
Hands up, anyone? There they
There
are.
they are.
There's a couple. Damn OG fans, Jonathan, always show up. This organization, I don't know what it is, but it
course.
attracts everyone.
Of course they do.
Even me.
Yeah.
And I hate these guys. There's Asta. Lovely
Doing
boys
research,
over there,
of
obviously
course.
waiting for their series to come up.
Yeah. Very nice people to talk to. I harassed them throughout media day. That was a fun time.
Of course, Seb not being able to keep with the team. Obviously, they kicked the old man, poor guy. Getting too old, apparently. Bringing Chu in instead. Chu putting on a fantastic performance throughout this tournament as well. Uh-oh, you're on camera now, so there you go. Peace sign up. Ayaya.
Yeah.
Who's that again, Sinya?
We see Sinya in the crowd, of course.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Very, very good to see. I believe she
All the
works
way
for
from
Alliance,
Japan.
does she?
Yeah. Screamer for Alliance.
Excellent. What time are they playing, John?
You don't have to do them dirty like that, Mike.
Oh.
You don't have to.
All my SEA teams are gone as well. We've only got Fnatic left, John.
Yeah,
Give me a break. I've got to abuse somebody here. Smiles across
Oh,
the board.
the Lupon gang.
Hello, hello, hello.
Boss Alo, Boss Nico. Hello.
Absolutely. With that, is there any OG fans out there? Can we get a cheer if you are an OG fan?
Come on, that can't be the loudest you guys can do, OG fans. Maybe it is.
What about the Thunder Awaken fans? Any Thunder Awaken fans in the crowd?
Go! Vamos!
So I always say, John, SCA crowd, best crowd. There's
Absolutely.
nothing like it. Nothing like it. More signs out. It's like
They're even going in game, guys.
even all chatting in game saying "Gar," so it looks like the players can hear you. Well, that's good news, John. Very, very good to know.
Oh goodness me.
Any XD enjoyers? No?
No.
Any Naruto fans? Anything
No.
like that?
No.
No? No?
This is a classy crowd, Mike.
All
Okay.
right. Sad for me, John. Just a
Very
casual
sad.
here. Just a casual. Easy mid, easy life. Well, I've heard that one before, Jonathan. On many, many losses.
Is that every pub of yours, Mike?
Yes. Yes, it is, John. Yes, it is.
Do you get the same experience in the Australian servers, or?
I don't play the Australian servers, John, for very, very good reason, let me tell you. It's a very, very scary place.
There we go.
Well, of course they're going to cheer for their own flag, surely.
It's almost.
Go on,
I
mate,
believe
wave
it's
the
almost
flag,
National
come
Day.
on.
Merdeka!
Wave the flag!
Merdeka!
Where's the pride? Don't be nervous now. Oh, goodness me.
What a great crowd.
is.
It's so good to see the arena filled up. It's a weekend. We've got great games and great people here.
See political signs coming out as well, John. I have no idea what's going on with that. You were trying to brief me earlier. No techies.
No techies.
Game is underway, ladies and gentlemen. Thankfully, we are going back into it. Team fight is going to stop for now. T2 Tower is still going down the way of OG.
Yeah. Spoken and prodding. Bit of a reset after that pause. They do manage to take the tier 2 though. So OG have a pat up onto the high ground now. And again, they've got the 7K lead. Thunder kind of hanging off the back of Pakaz. Everyone else sort of sacrificed to allow this to happen. Although the build-up on Dark Mago is pretty big. And he will go for a smoke play here, Mike.
That they will. Thunder Awaken. 4-man smoke up.
Radiant are scaling.
And they go through to the Radiant Triangle. OG will head back towards their own dire jungle here. Pakaz currently top of the net worth board. And very, very strong. BKB up now. Even the Chrysalis being built up. So plenty of damage. It's got that magic immunity. Feeling very, very healthy. No Aegis to fight with for OG. So they will retreat. Fight on their own terms. Butterfly up on ATF. That's a big one.
Is under attack.
A lot harder to try and burst that man down.
Yeah, it's going to feel awful for Picasso to just focus in. It's just going to be so hard to get that damage onto him with the evasion. You don't have an MKB being built up just yet. So Amar's going to be extra durable up front, and they'll go for their smoke now.
Here we go. OG, we'll see if they can get this one down. They've got the butterfly. They want to go for the surprise reveal. In fact, the BKB up on BZM as well. First time this patch, we've got a Husker with a butterfly. There you go. It's always ATF somehow making these things happen. So they do meet in the mid lane. Jump in, they found Tiger. That'll be a start. Spear does not land, but it's going to be enough. The Undying, already gone. It's Yuragi, tries to chip away. Meanwhile, Dark Mago on the wrong side of that mid-river. We'll keep going, trying to bait them forward. Fisher will be there, ATF won't make the jump in. Sacred, still chasing, does have Arena. Won't pop it quite yet, however. Remnants forward, Yuragi gonna try. Shallow Grave there, however, Matthew, he'll survive for now. Meanwhile, ATF, he's in trouble. The Ice Guard is slowing him down, the BKB. It'll be there to run through the arena, and they will retreat for now. OG, never mind, Yuragi, he's been caught out. No mana available, they might have the Ember on their hands here. Thunder could keep going. Yuragi trying to run, can't do it. Surely, Sleight of Fist there, but it's not gonna matter.
Oh man, that looked very nice from OG to try to block off that point for Pakaz. Great Fissure coming out from Chu, but they still find the angle. They bait out that fight. Really good play coming out from Matthew and Sacred to put their bodies forward, make Yuragi jump onto him, and just have the confidence to have the follow through. So nice big pick-off coming out for Thunder. Not quite the end of the world for OG. They still maintain a very reasonable lead, and to be fair, Thunder does not have anything they can play off the back of this. Look at that. Matthew and Sacred just walking together, coughing
Great
that
shallow
instantly
grave.
shallow grave to stall out this fight.
Very, very good Shallow Grave there on Matthew. He does drop at the end, but it won't matter. He's dragged it out long enough here for Thunder Awaken to get the team fight their way. 6k advantage still standing for OG. But it is slowly but surely just being chipped away at by Thunder Awaken, and we saw this during game number 2. They had such a nice net worth advantage, but just slowly, Thunder Awaken claw their way back. It's a similar story. And for the side of OG, it's all on ATF at this point. He is the carry of the team on this Husker.
Oh, and speaking of that Husker, that butterfly ATF picked up, Pakaz is ready for it. He's going for the MKB, and that investment in butterfly, it starts to feel pretty bad once you've got anything to pierce through evasion. It could have been an Ags, you know, get a little bit more taunt going out. Could have been an earlier Satanic, and that might cause issues if Pakaz can find the timing on this MKB to be on point. And it does look like he has the gold. Just 60 away, he won't have buyback, which could be dangerous for Thunder, but considering how they're playing right now, super defensively, it doesn't feel like they are in a position where Pakaz might be put out anyway.
7k advantage still standing. OG will sit back. Of course, Roshan going to be the next big objective for both sides once again. 50 seconds till we find out when Roshan is going to respawn. There's that MKB you talked about now, so the butterfly really meaning nothing for ATF anymore. Pakaz has the answers. Basically 6-slotted already, might have to get rid of the treads very, very soon. OG, they're going to try for a 4-man smoke. Just before Roshan timing is there. Yuragi will reveal himself in the mid lane. Thunder Awaken, pretty split up right now. Just trying to stay away from OG. You do have the TB in that triangle, however, but the illusion's going to be around. Pakaz is going to back his way out just barely. OG unable to catch for now. Still the chase continues. Fisher is there. They got Dark Mago. That'll be the BKB forced out. Pakaz does get the reflection off. And again, OG will not commit all the way.
Yeah, very, very conservative game from both sides now. So much on the line in basically what is a best of one now. Roshan, about a minute away from the respawn. OG in a good position to take that up. But you do have the wards here from Thunder, and they know where OG's clumping up at.
Thunder Awaken, 5-man smoke. Roshan up in 50 seconds. Refresher Orb now available on Sacred. This could be the big one. You get this next Roshan, you might be looking at high ground for either side. Thunder Awaken, they do move in. They found Ty, or rather ATF. That's the Husker they found out. ATF, he'll cop the torrent. Force the BKB up and try to run through the arena. The chase is still going. Sacred, he might be able to get it done, but not quite. Refreshes out, another arena. ATF and the must, but he's out of mana. Oh, he cannot spear. Meanwhile, Pandamu somehow surviving, but Yuragi will take him out. It's a 2-for-0 trade. The way of OG.
God, that was such a beautiful Fisher block coming out from Chu, cutting off Pakaz once more on the ramp. Couldn't follow up on that beautiful arena out from Sacred. And this Shaker, Chu has just done so much work. With that 2 sets of pickoffs, not the biggest kills, but that does give them easy access to Roche with the BKBs expended.
Yeah. Sacred mid lane. Be careful not to get caught by OG. Momentum their way now. Keep in mind, Roshan is now available. I'm not sure if it was really scouted out here by OG, though. I don't think so. They want the fight instead. Shiver's Guard, not going to catch anyone. EZM, a little bit unlucky with the range. Again, I don't believe Roshan was scouted. Dark Mago, they do run towards him. Konka could be in a slight bit of danger. He's going to show up that bot creep wave as well. EZM right in, has found the Konka. This is a big one. Dark Mago, he's got a BKB available, but no TP available. He's going to juke his way out.
Ooh.
Blink forward, BZM, not going to catch him yet. Dark Mago, do not breathe. You've got to be quiet here, sir, with the Fisher, the Scream, they're going to find him. Dark Mago has been caught by OG. He's going to have to try and fight. Boat is out, TP now available, but the Sonic Wave is there. They've got the damage. He does have buyback, but he's down for 75. Again, Roshan's still up.
Yeah, it buys them a lot of space in Thunder's end. They're playing on the opposite side of the map, trying to get what they can while they still have time. They aren't able to get forward vision, though. So if OG does want to sneak in that Roche, Thunder Awaken is not going to be aware of it at all. And they've got to be careful. Roche does begin now for OG with that free Axe Blessing as well. If that flies out onto Amar, I mean, you're going to have a really tough time in dealing with when that Husker does jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. Free Roshan to go the way of OG now. Axe Blessing is available on that as well. Such a beautiful arena you're looking at right there, Jonathan. Look at that. Roshan down, ATF, he'll take the Aegis. Ags up as well. Basically the taunt now on the Husker can be very, very annoying. It's almost like having an axe at this point.
Yeah, it's just massive. Forcing potentially Pakaz to focus in on that Husker for damage is not ideal. You might want to take care of anything else. Heck, Uragi is probably a bigger threat now with the Daedalus up on that Ember, and you're just forced to focus in on Amar, and he still has Aegis, of course, freshly picked up. So he has a lot of options to play now. 20k lead for OG after a bit of a back and forth. Definitely in the clear lead now. And they even managed to overtake Pakaz's net worth with Amar. So they're building up. I mean, people call him ATM right now. He does have all the money.
He certainly does have all the money. Sadly, Thunder Predator, or rather Thunder Awaken for now, have lost their ATM cards, so not able to withdraw. See if they can find it. Thunder still holding onto that high ground. Pakaz, keep in mind, John, he did just buy out that Silver Edge, so no money available for the buyback if he does get caught out. 1.4k away from that buyback being available. OG, of course, not knowing about this. And they won't give the opening away anyway. Thunder, they'll just keep holding high ground. OG, though, they control the rest of the map. This is just great news for OG. 21k ahead. 39, in fact, 40 minutes in now. Hard to see OG being able to lose this game.
Yeah, they've got a lot to play with. They've got the control of the map. They're cutting off Thunder from even going into their jungle to farm. There are some key timings for Thunder left. The Hex on Dark Mago and the Hex out on Sacred can be big, but they don't have the room to farm that up. So if you did manage to find a way to get that double Hex, get the jump in first, you probably do have enough damage to clear out any of these heroes in that burst window.
Well, top tier 2 tower.
Sacred.
It's going to drop. Sacred, bottom side, caught by the Fisher and the chains, will BKB and run. Not risking his own life at the moment. Keep in mind, AC now available on ATF, Refresher Orb available on BZM. Big itemization here from OG. Another power spike here for this Dire side. Thunder, just going to sit back and just hold that high ground for now. They've got to hope for a good team fight to try and pull this game back their way. Sure, you've got crazy farm on this TB, but ATF has now overtaken. Just look at the levels. BZM hitting that level 25 mark now. That blink cooldown just so low. It's going to be so much harder to catch the Quap throughout these team fights.
It's just going to be weaving in and out of these fights. And we talked about that lack of control early on there, Mike. Mentioning OG only had a Shaker. Thunder they also kind of lack hard control to take care of both the Ember and the Quap. I mean, X is probably their most reliable. Maybe you can get a lift spear or just a blink spear arena out. Easier said than done. OG has a lot of opportunities to kind of dodge out there as well. And again, they're just taking their time, getting that build up. And, you know, they're not in a rush. They know they've got a pretty clear advantage. If they do start to get hasty here, that could provide opportunities for Thunder.
Yeah, they're just going to ensure that they can just keep getting these items up. Just get to the point where you're 6 slotted and you've got nothing left to farm. And well, now Lincoln Sphere available on Yuragi as well. It's going to be even harder to catch the Ember throughout all these fights. Thunder Awaken, excuse me, are just kind of stuck in this high ground. Nowhere to farm for themselves. Just waiting for that team fight, waiting for OG to make their way over. OG just not allowing them that opportunity. So Thunder, a very depressing time, just sitting at home waiting. Something we had to do a couple years ago, John. Wasn't very fun at all.
Yeah, it is what it is when you're stuck just waiting around here. Octarine also up now on Chu. So lower cooldowns to play with. A lot more uptime for him to be aggressive here and set up for his team. And, I mean, for Thunder Awaken, like, this isn't the ideal scenario for them. Obviously, I mean, just holding out like this means you're not finding a way to reel back the net worth. You're not looking for opportunities. They're relying on the fact that OG might get a bit impatient. Maybe they start looking for fights. Maybe they get drawn in for a pickoff and get punished on top of it. There's still that potential for the slow and steady build-up onto the double hex, but it looks like even Sacred's kind of given up in that. Just going for his shard, saving up for buyback first. At the least, you can maybe spear 2 people up in a good arena here.
Aegis is going to expire in 15 seconds, so OG just going to let this one go. TF not going to have that one up. We'll still hold on to the cheese. Keep in mind, you've got so many buybacks available for the side of Thunder Awaken at the moment. It's just too risky to try and move high ground. On OG's end, not so much. Only 2 buybacks being available. Aegis is expiring. Now the fight starts. Sacred, he's in with an arena. Onto 3 targets. They've already got 2 down. That's 1 gone. No buyback available for the Earthshaker. Now another arena. Catches out BZM. They've got the Quap in there. BZM, he'll pop the BKB. No follow-up out yet. So they got the Shaker down. Buyback being committed on the Rubik. ATF still trying to back off, but Pakaz is on the chase with the Iron Sky to slow. ATF in a bit of danger. Yuragi trying to slow down Pakaz, and it's a Tiger. He'll be forced to drop the Tombstone, but does end up going down. Pakaz now unstoppable. Yuragi sticking around, very low on mana, is going to cop the lift up. They've got the Ember. Yuragi will drop. Sonic Wave not going to be there. They hex him up. Thunder Awaken. Here we go again.
Oh my goodness, they find the opening. They're the ones to force it out as well. They walk outside their high ground, get a good scan, manage to segment that fight really nicely. The braveness of Sacred to just jump in almost blind in that area was just fantastic. He gets a good arena,
How do they
gets
do
good
it?
use of his refresh. These guys just played, it looks like they play the best when their backs are against the wall.
There's 2 calls without buyback on OG right now.
Boy.
Thunder Awaken, they might go high ground with this. What a team fight to come out. Thunder somehow finding a way back into this game, and OG, Aegis expires. They kind of show up in the Radiant Triangle and get caught out. Thunder Awaken is perfect timing, and now they're onto the high ground. No buybacks available. This is a rough position now for OG. Thunder, can they go all the way with this? Still 45 seconds without the Quap and without the Ember. Chu will try to slow it down with the Fisher. Pakaz, realizing the buybacks just aren't there, will keep going. That net worth lead, it's really going to start swinging back the way of the Radiant now. ATF, all he can do is just stare them down. Thunder, they'll just keep going, and that'll be 1 lane of barracks to go the way of the Radiant. Suddenly they're the ones with the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they're still severely behind in gold, but they managed to just hold out, find those opportunities, and maybe this is where some of that scaling comes into play. Like, there is a way for the Quap to scale, there is a way for the Ember to scale, but it's just not as terrifying as, say, the TB with all of this itemization on Pakaz. And, you know, they're still 18k ahead in OG's end. They still have a really good shot at this game, but Thunder is definitely not out. And they just need to keep playing as they have. Look for those opportunities, look for a way to break OG apart, and just clean up the leftovers afterwards.
OG is still 18k ahead, 20 to 32. At this stage of the game, it just starts to feel like the net worth doesn't matter so much anymore. It's just all about Pakaz. course, Sacred doing such great work on that offlane. Mars setting up everything for his team. OG might just have to wait for the next Roshan, and it's going to be 1.5 minutes away. The most important Roshan of the game now. I believe it's the 4th one we're looking forward to. Thunder Awaken, they'll hold on to their Radiant Triangle. OG, of course, into the Dire jungle, just around the Roshan pit, trying to protect that position. It's like ATF has queued up a Satanic now, feeling like he needs that sustainability throughout these engagements. Just not able to fight back against Pakaz if the TB does get close enough. And it's just all about Roshan. OG, they'll wait, so will Thunder Awaken. This time around, I highly doubt anyone gets it for free.
Yeah, it's going to be a very big fight between both sides. And just going back to the previous Roche there, Mike, it does feel like some of what's happening to OG might have gone down to their choice of giving Amar the Axe. Because imagine if you gave it to Uragi instead, right? He's got remnants to just dance around. It would be easier for him to find that back line, take care of Pandamu and Matthew, and maybe even isolate that Terrorblade with the additional remnants. So maybe some of that boils back down here. It does feel like they want Uragi to be more of a damage dealer than a skirmisher. And that is reflective in his item buildup with the Daedalus, with the Desolator up, and the Maelstrom to clear out the waves. But they have to have someone willing to jump into the back line. I mean, BZM can do it, but he can't do it by himself.
15 seconds. Roshan almost there. The game just feeling so tense. 48 minutes in now, John. Thunder Awaken, they'll prep. In position. Chu is around as well. Smoke's broken. Pakaz using that Silver Edge to try and get those smokes broken, of course, as OG. Back off, and now Dark Mago will see himself an Arcane Rune. Will happily take that away. Has queued up the Aghanim Scepter as well, keep in mind, John. And the Ghost Fleet being leveled up in terms of the talent. And there's your smoke up. A 5-on-5 engagement incoming between OG and Thunder Awaken. A very nice scan out. OG know exactly where they are right now. They'll run right into him, Sacred. He'll be spotted first. Uragi will move into Dark Mago.
Whoa, Amar?
Whoa,
Amar?
ATF! He does take one out. Sacred, however, he's found Tiger. That'll be a 1-for-1 on the support. There is a buyback on Tiger. He's back into the team fight. Meanwhile, chains out onto the TB, but ATF, he's been caught out. He'll life strike away. Amar, can he make it? It doesn't look like it. He's down. Buyback's immediate, though. Back into the team fight they come, OG. They've still got their full team available. The Roshan just so important, they can't let this one go down for freeze. BZM back in, onto Dark Mago. There's your Sonic Wave. Dark Mago being caught out, going down.
Oh,
now the Echo Slam! True, trying to save the day, but the Sunder is there in time. Pakaz, godlike now on the TB. Just quick hands on this Terrorblade, but Roshan has been started. OG trying to take the advantage while they can. Pakaz, what's he gonna do about this, John? He's got the Refresher Orb up, you've got the secondary meta, he'll move in by himself. Look at this Giga Chat, he doesn't care. Onto Tiger, but ATF, he does move in. The Shallow Grave is there. Sunder, who does he get? He found BZM!
What?
Oh, he's alive! Can you believe that, Tiger? He's in big trouble. That's another down. Pakaz, he's just carrying this team by himself. Onto ATF, it's a tieback. In fact, never mind, that's the Aegis down. ATF, he's gonna be careful. This is his last life available. ATF gonna try and make it through. Can he make it? He's trying to fight. No, another Sunder. The Terrorblade. He's not dying. Back in again. ATF trying to man up. Maybe they've got him. They do. The buyback's available though. Does he buy back? They'll buy back on Sacred. The TB not committing yet. Onto the Kunkka they go. Dark Mago. He does end up dropping. No buyback available on the Kunkka. ATF. Even surprised me, John, stealing the Aegis away mid-team fight. Oh my goodness, what a game 3 we have on our hands. 50 minutes in, this game is not over.
Oh, it definitely isn't. A lot of back and forth. OG still with a fight in them, managing to make work there, but Thunder as well, not pulling their punches. Great saves coming out, great plays coming out. Pakaz just living for such a long time with that last minute refresh.
And that's the part I missed. Roshan, it gets taken down, didn't even realize that ATF, just a man of business, John. He saw an objective and he took it. Yep. And that may have just won the team fight. Had he not had that Aegis, I think it would have gone the other way.
Oh, definitely. It would have gone south very quickly. OG with that opening onto the high ground mid, trying to even out the lanes. Gonna be a lot longer till Dark Mago is back up, and they need the Kunkka. He's the one with a hex.
They want tier 4 towers. They know the Kunkka's down for a minute. This is the opening. Here comes the crowd, the OG magic. It begins. Thunder Awaken. One final chance, it seems, as Amar gonna avoid the spear, jumps right in. He'll go for the man fight onto the Mars. It looks like Sacred. He'll be dying back immediately. It's 3 down. OG, they may have just done it. Echo slam out. 2, he's got him. That's because BKB out. Can he fight? He cannot. That's a dieback. The game's over. OG have done it. OG have done it once again. How do they do it? Every single time, how do they do it?
They find a way, Mike. They find a way. Thunder, for their part, they hold on amazingly well. They managed to take that mid-set of racks when Kings just looked like it couldn't get any better for them. They were so far.